Actually, seeing the relief and the gratitude, I think, on people's faces when, we delivered WANS kits to them in 2019 and 2020. And just, the little tiny things that make people's lives a little bit different. And it made me realize that so many of us just take for granted the safety that we have around fire season, but there are so many people who are impacted, and there are people who live in the cities who aren't necessarily impacted as much, but nevertheless suffer from the after effects or the going through it effects of fires. And I'm asthmatic, a lot better since I discovered doTERRA and went gluten-free. But being, driving through smoky areas, and I was in Sydney a few times in 2019 during the foot bushfires, and the air quality was just so poor. And, knowing how bad it can affect people with any kind of respiratory issues just made me think, here we go again. They're saying it's going to be a shocker over summer. And we just need to there's no point in reaching for your easy air the day that it happens. You need to have that already prepared. So I just thought being prepared for bushfire season is something you really do need to plan. And I think that's what motivated me to just get this together and say to people, order your stuff before you need it. Don't order you don't have your flu jab after you had the flu, you have it before.
Yes,
so,
very cool.
You need to.
Thank you for putting it together and for the beautiful ebook that you've shared with us. We'll also share that again tonight. So it's actually one of your photos, Leonie, so it's very significant. And like you said, we're going to go look through some of the suggestions of the best products to have on hand, not to order at the last minute, like you said, some ways of using them, and then general tips. So to start with, the On Guard Touch. Now, this is a great one. It's easy to use in this roller bottle. Tell us, why did you choose to include the On Guard Touch here?
On Guard Touch and the hand sanitizer, they're just basically first aid in a bottle. So having one of those, it's not just really bushfire season, but just having those, I have, have one in your car, have one in your handbag, have one handy so that any cuts, bites, stings, you've got a first aid solution just there ready to apply. And when we have things like bushfires or any kind of disaster where there's, people go back to look at their homes, for example, there's broken wood, there's timber down, there's so many things that you can get injured by. Having this ready to go is really important.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And there's the hand sanitizer that you mentioned. So it's a really convenient spray mist. You can have several of them, can't you? Like have one in every room, in your handbag in the car. What I like about it is that it's moisturizing, so it doesn't dry out your skin. It's using the On Guard blend that we're familiar with and trust. So it's protecting us as well. And yeah, it just dries quickly and leaves your hands feeling soft and smooth, doesn't it? Like you said, you could spray it onto any sort of skin problems that might have occurred from those scenarios you described there, Leonie. Cuts and grazes and things like that. Yeah. I like this idea too, that you can mist it around as a room freshener, deodorizer, and air cleaner. That's very
cool. I mean, if you've got if you have got someone with a cold, I know we use things like Purify and so on, but just misting around the room with some On Guard is going to help kill any airborne germs.
That's wonderful. And then you could even refill it, couldn't you? So once you've used up the whole 27 ml, yeah, great. And it can be also helpful for insects, and I think fires do tend to bring out
they do. And I have to tell you, On Guard kills cockroaches.
Oh, truly? Do you spray it on them, or tell us what's your tip?
I just use my On Guard Cleaner spray that I make up. So
Mhm.
it's On Guard Cleaner concentrate, vinegar and water. And it was actually my sister who found it when she's got like a weekend place they go to down in New South Wales, and they came to it on the weekend, and she said, I just brought all the food in the sink. There was this whacking great cockroach. The only thing I had was the On Guard spray that she'd made with me. She doused it with that, just kept bringing the food in. She said a minute later it was like on its back.
It's
So,
incredible.
and I've done it many times. In fact, I often diffuse On Guard around my kitchen area, and I very rarely get cockroaches, and if I do, they're on their back.
Wow,
So
good news.
if you do
Well,
see one, just
yeah,
douse.
yeah.
It really does kill them.
I didn't know we'd be learning that out of tonight's class. Thank you. Good tip. And that shows how versatile the oils are. You know, we don't have to just buy them and use them for that one specific
Oh.
purpose. Yeah. Now you mentioned the Purify blend. Talk us through this one, Leonie.
Oh look, Purify is one that I buy so much of because it just helps to clear the air. It's whatever, all the different oils that are in it just seem to me to work better than a lot of the others in terms of getting rid of the smoky or manky and unpleasant smells. You know, if you've been cooking onions or sausages or fish, and you think, oh, that's okay. You've had your oven thing on, and then you go out and you come back in, you think, oh my gosh, I can smell fish everywhere.
Right.
Just diffuse on Purify, and within about 20 minutes, you won't smell any horrible smells. Purifying your on a paper towel in the bottom of your rubbish bin will help to eliminate any odors that are residual in there. It's really great for cuts and bites and stings again. It smells, to me, it smells so clean and fresh. I actually take it with me when I travel, and I use my use a little pilot diffuser, and as soon as I walk into a hotel room, they always have them cleaned with that really revolting smelling stuff. And the first thing that goes on, I open my suitcase, find my diffuser, put that on with Purify, and it just clears out that fake scent that you get.
Wonderful. Yes. So in terms of, the bushfires, like you said, Leonie, it doesn't matter where we live, it's going to make an impact on us with the smoke. So this would be ideal to reach for, having this.
Definitely. And I think, it's actually been shown that we actually have we're actually exposed to a lot more pollutants inside our homes than we are outside our homes. So if you're at all worried about some of the things that can affect us within the home, and there's a lot of things we can't eliminate, like furnishings and carpets and paints and things like that, the blends like Purify can really help to minimize the effect of those volatile thingy compounds on us, VOX on us, and just to help the air to smell fresher. Great for babies' rooms, boys' rooms,
So good to have that on hand. So now tea tree is also known for its purifying qualities and has that beautiful fresh aroma that we're all familiar with because it's an Australian essential oil. So it's grown and sourced here, and it's going to help with respiratory health. Now, Leonie, you mentioned that since coming to doTERRA, you've had improvements for yourself. Do you want to talk us through that? And was tea tree a part of this?
To be honest, it probably wasn't. I will be honest and say I don't use tea tree a lot, but when you need it, it's the perfect thing to use, because I tend to forget that it is the great all-round support, that it does kind of lots of things. And unlike, like On Guard, it's great for cuts, bites, stings, all those sorts of things. It's also good for, well, with my respiratory issues, since I was about 5-6 years old, I've had asthma, and I do have an autoimmune disease. But when I went gluten-free, it really improved a lot, which made a sense, you know, being diagnosed celiac, that it was all to do with that. It is also, I think it used to be a little bit hormonal as well, but I think I diffuse Easy Air a lot. I diffuse eucalyptus, Siberian fir. Tea tree would also be good for the respiratory system. It's anything with those rosemary, that clean kind of medicinal smell really helps to open up your airways. Peppermint, all of those oils are great for supporting your respiratory health. And I have to remind myself, honestly, to use tea tree more often because it is just so versatile.
Yeah, truly is. And it partners well with other oils too. So if it reminds you maybe of head lice treatment or anything like that, try it with peppermint, like Leonie suggested, and the peppermint will cut through and change that up for you and just,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
clear that memory if that's a problem. Some people like the smell of that, and it reminds them of being cared for. But yeah, it goes well with lavender. Give it a go with other combinations. Now, the adaptive roller, when I saw this in the suggestions, I was like, yes, this is ideal for anyone who's been through a fire and then maybe it gets that trauma gets brought back up again, gets triggered. So any feelings of distress, worry, concern, young children, any age really, might be the confusion, the uncertainty, are we evacuating? Are we staying? That all of that is when you would reach for the adaptive blend. It supports our body, mind, and spirit through stressful moments, uncertain moments, times of change. So yeah, it'll be really supportive. It's soothing and it's uplifting. So it's a great one to use during the day where you stay alert, rather than some of our stronger essential oils for calming might be making you drowsy. Adaptive doesn't tend to do that. Helps to push away any noise and distractions. So that's, the cluttered mind racing to, conclusions that may not be real. So especially in fire season, that would be helpful. And it's going to help us stay relaxed and balanced. Is this one that you like to use, Leonie, the adaptive blend?
Oh, it's just the most amazing blend. When I was doing a lot of delivering wellness packs to people during that bushfire season, and I just found myself completely overwhelmed. I saw the fire areas where people had died. I saw, houses that were still standing and all the houses around were gone. And the trauma of it was just so real. I wasn't personally experiencing it as someone who lived there, but traveling through those areas, taking those kits to people. And I just found myself absolutely blubbering one day, absolutely sobbing my heart out. And I am pretty resilient. So I just thought, what are you doing? You've got oils. And adaptive was what I reached for. And within a day of just diffusing adaptive, it just turned my whole thinking around, and I lost that. I was still obviously deeply horrified by it all, but I wasn't overwhelmed to the extent that I could barely function. So for me, it's just the life-saving oil when you just feel like you can't cope with what's going on.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, that's the one. We all need it. We all need it. Correct-X. Oh gosh, this would be what I think in our family, our most used item. Correct-X. Whenever my kids come up to me, Mum, this problem, this one, it's always the answer is Correct-X. I don't know whether because it's got the combination of all those oils that help with healing, and yeah, just the oils that are in it just seem to cover so many different fast reasons. Yeah, purposes. So it's like a liquid Band-Aid, this ointment. You're just going to use it a small amount, and it gives like a protective barrier. So it hydrates the skin. It also helps to speed up the healing and prevent scarring. I just find it incredible. It calms your emotions. It's a beautiful aroma too, isn't it, Leonie? And what an amazing price to get these precious, incredible oils. already made up in an ointment for us. It's got to be one of my favorites.
And I think the secret is, as you said, is you only need a little bit, because I know the first time I ordered and got it, I thought, wow, it's that big.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a small tube, but you literally need like the tip of a pinhead
Yeah.
cover quite a
Mhm.
large area, and it feels good, doesn't it, when you apply it? It just feels good.
Yeah. Even as a lip barrier, like, you know, you get the
Okay.
chapped lips. Yeah, really nice. Like you said, you only need a little bit, but you need a lot of bottles of it because everyone nicks off with it, Leonie. I can tell you, each of my kids nick off with it. So I'm constantly buying this. It would be every second month just because I don't know where they've gone and put it. But anyway, no, I do like to keep one in the kitchen drawer. I think every kitchen needs Correct-X, one in the handbag, because when you're out and about on the go, one in the bathroom cupboard, and then, you know, have a couple of extras in the kids' rooms. But yeah, an amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
I
uh,
always have it in my travel kit, because you just never know when you're going to need a salve versus an oil, if that makes sense.
yes, perfect. Yeah. Wonderful. And then the fractionated coconut oil, we like to, you know, explain how this is a really good carrier oil to choose when you're using your pure doTERRA essential oils. It's going to readily absorb into the skin. It's light, non-greasy, it's odorless, and it won't stain your clothes. So especially with the hotter, stronger oils, we want to mix them with coconut oil, just to lessen any sensitivity, any, you know, rash or irritation, things like that. So we're talking oils like oregano, cinnamon, peppermint, those stronger oils. But yeah, mentioning the coconut oil was handy here. And then in the instance that maybe you accidentally wipe the oils in your eye, like you've got on your hand, you forgot to wash your hands or something and you get it in your eye. Has that ever happened to you? Or you know, in your private parts, you want to keep them away from the sensitive areas of our body. If it does happen, you don't want to actually reach for a wet cloth. A lot of people will think, oh, I'll get a wet wash and wash it off, or I'll jump in the shower. But the water will make the oil spread and makes it worse. So what we want to do is grab our coconut oil, or any carrier oil, so olive oil, almond oil, on a dry cloth, and it'll bring the essential oils to one spot, and then just get another paper towel or a dry cloth again and wipe it away, and it'll neutralize and solve that problem. But yeah, that's another reason why I like to have the coconut oil on hand.
And then another thing that I didn't realize, but it makes sense given that people in places like Fiji, etc., use coconut oil on their skin all the time. Apart from being hydrating, it actually has a small percentage of sunscreen in it, so, or sun repelling qualities. So it is, I'm not, if you're in a bushfire, you probably can't see the sun anyway, but it is useful to know that if you are using it, it's not going to react with sunlight.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I just noticed we're also streaming this into Facebook, and Jodie's saying she loves her Easy Air, and she's an asthmatic. Thank you, Jodie, for commenting on that. Yeah, Easy Air is amazing. So when we first did our part 1 series, we put together a pack that we would recommend. But now today we've got our handy help months 1 and 2. Leonie, would you like to talk through month 1?
So month 1, we've got your sort of like your first aid in a bottle kind of oils here. We've got our hand sanitizer, On Guard hand sanitizer, which like I said, this to me is first aid in a bottle. I have this scattered all over the place. I have them in my car, I have it in my handbag, I have them in several handbags, so I don't have to keep swapping. It's just a life-saving thing for me. You've got your clearing air oils in Purify and Tea Tree. Both of them, actually all 3 of them, can be used as first aid. So this is like a power pack of different oils that will do similar things but work in slightly different ways and have multi-uses. So that little pack is really going to be a great addition to your first aid kit.
Yeah, now the next pack has the peppermint beadlets, which we didn't talk about. These are tiny little beadlets with 1/4 of a drop of peppermint. You just pop them in your mouth and you can either burst them in your teeth for that full peppermint. There we go. Leonie's giving us a demo for that full peppermint explosive experience, or you can just swallow it down with water, and it's going to help with clearing sinus, respiratory, helping us to breathe clearer. Just handy to have. I mean, imagine the fireys if they had this in their pockets that they could pop and just, you know, continue on with their work. It helps with focus and concentration, and just so convenient to have. So yeah, that's in the Handy Help month 2 pack, along with the adaptive roller you heard us talking about. The Easy Add Clear drops. Now these are lozenges that we can suck on, chew, or just have during that time that we need help with clear breathing again. And then, of course, our favorite Correct X in there too. Thank you, Leonie. You've got all the demonstrating going on here.
Oh yeah, I just happen to have these sitting on my I had them actually packed in my suitcase for when I went to Canberra recently. So I had carry the On Guard drops and the Easy Air drops with me when I travel, because you never know when you're going to need those sorts of things.
They think of everything, don't they? They think of, you know, the blends are powerful in themselves, but then what are the convenient ways of using them? Yeah.
That's right.
So
and I will say for anyone who's asthmatic, obviously Jody that's listening in, peppermint beadlets are the first things I reach for these days. If I feel my chest is getting tight, I pop a peppermint beadlet, and usually that just eases it and opens it up, and I don't have to use a spray, you know, cortisone spray or anything like that. Can't tell you the last time I used that. Really can't.
amazing. Yeah, so these help us in those physical ways, emotionally as well. And there's both the internal and external health benefits. We can always add on a diffuser. So the pedal diffuser is such a lovely choice. It has the 2-hour, 6-hour, or the 12-hour settings, and has the beautiful soft ambient light, or you can have it dark. So either a night light or with the light off. And you can never stop at one diffuser, hey Leonie, truly.
I hate to tell you how many diffusers I have. I really, really like tragic.
At least you can still count them. I wouldn't even know. I can't even count how many.
There's
Anyway.
a lot that are in boxes, put it that way. I go, oh, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've used that one now. We'll put that one away, try a different one.
Oh, they're always coming out with beautiful designs.
Oh,
and
they are.
yeah, wonderful.
And, you know, I have to say too, I know we haven't got on the slide, but in the Christmas gift giving guide, we have the black pebble diffuser, and it comes with Holiday Joy.
Mhm.
And sorry, not the pebble, the bubble. Pebble's in the US. The bubble diffuser, and everybody loves bubbles. And I had one that I took to Canberra with me to have in the office there, and it was a massive, big, long office area. And I was sitting right down the end. I had it diffusing Shindin Yoku, and it was just on motion. And people kept coming through saying, this place smells amazing. Like, it smells so good in here. And I actually went out the door, which was probably 3/4 of the length of the whole big office area. I went down this little corridor, out the door, and along past the lifts to go to the loo. And on my way back, as I passed the lifts, I could smell that oil diffusing. So it had filled the room and gone out that small corridor into the main corridor. And that's just a little bubble diffuser. And it would have been 50 feet at least, and around a corner, 2 corners. So, you know, it's a really good option to buy at the moment for anyone who's looking to add on a diffuser. Grab your little bubble. It's USB powered, so you can power it up and then have it stand alone. And it's a really good standby to have for fire season. If you lose power and you've got that powered up all the time, it's going to last you possibly up to a week before you would need to recharge it. So it's a really, really ideal little one to add in at the moment.
So good. Well, Leonie, that's brought us to the end of our series, our two-part series. For anyone who missed the first, just get in contact with us. We can give you a recording. But here is your generous gift from Leonie. She's prepared a book that you can download and keep. And it's got the information from both sessions as well as other incredibly useful information. So it'll help you to plan and prepare for fire season. I like how you mentioned here for pets as well. So not just ourselves and our families, but our furry friends, our loved ones. So yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of this is the QR code that will help you access that. If you want to get in touch with us for that first recording, for example, or any other questions, if we can help you to get your starter pack or to get your monthly packs that we put together, ideas for you, there's our contact details again, screenshot. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. But aside from that, thank you very much, Leonie. Thanks for
Thank you, Anna. It's been wonderful sharing with you.
So good. All right. Well, I will endeavor to figure out how to turn this off here. This is the fun bit.
Share screen down the bottom.
Yeah, I'm in a different screen. I'm in a full screen. But that's
right up the top. If you move, are you on a Mac?
Oh, there we go. Stop share. Yes, I'm good. I found it. Awesome. Bye, everyone.